They call me Squirrel.
What's going on, Squirrel Squad? It's your boy, the Squirrel, and tonight I got a suggestion to maybe try out some Henning Wehn. Henning. We'll just call him Henning. Anyways, we're going to do a little Henning right now, Henning Wehn, and he's a German comedian, and we'll see how that turns out. I did a video recently of an amazing, hilarious Canadian comedian. I'll try to remember to put the link for it right up here. The algorithm loves it when I do British stuff. Boy, does it love it. But if I do anything that's not, they don't even look at it. That's part of being in a niche, I suppose. But I thought that this piece was great, and some people did see it, and I would like you guys to check it out if you missed it, because it was pretty freaking funny. So, enough about that. Let's watch some Henning. Henning Wehn. By the way, this is Wehn for 3 weeks in the mid-90s. Henning Wehn on Would I Lie to You. So, this is that show. I think I did some Bob Mortimer from this show. Or anyways, it's a show called Would I Lie to You. So let's give it a whirl.
It was in the mid-90s, and now the funny story begins. For 3 weeks, I was listed as a missing person by Interpol.
Wow. When did this happen?
In the mid-90s.
Where were you? Had you actually disappeared?
I was in Morocco.
What were you doing there?
I was on a bike ride in Spain.
You were on a bike ride in Spain in Morocco.
I'm to chat with my client.
What happened was, I met someone in Spain on a train, a Moroccan
So hang on,
man.
was this bike ride in Spain happening on the train? It was like, because I know that you get those Spanish bike rides on trains in Morocco. That's probably one of those.
No, there was bad
I thought I was
weather.
bad at geography.
And that's why I took the train from the north of Spain to the south of Spain, because apparently, according to the local newspaper, there was better, more agreeable bicycling weather.
How did you then get into Morocco, though?
That is because I met that Moroccan bloke on the train.
If I remember correctly, this show is kind of like the old TV show that we had over here called To Tell the Truth. So something comes up and it's either true or it's not true, and then they have to tell the story and answer the questions truthfully, and then people have to decide whether or not he's full of crap. I'm going to go with this is probably true.
And
Which Moroccan bloke?
Yeah, does he have a name?
I can't quite remember, but it was Mohammed or something.
Mohammed the Moroccan you met on the train in Spain.
He asked me if I wanted to join him to go to Morocco. And then I thought, well, I've never been outside Europe. In for penny, in for pound.
So you were picked up by a strange Moroccan on a train and agreed to go back to Morocco with him.
What's the worst that can happen?
How did you find out that you were on the Interpol list?
I realised only once I rang my parents, once I was back in Spain. And I rang my parents, and for them it was like someone found them from beyond the grave.
So why didn't you ring your parents from Morocco?
Because that man, that Mohammed, he
remember Mohammed, don't you?
Yeah.
He was the man on the train.
The Moroccan on the train.
Moroccan on the train who invited him back to his house.
So and then when I was staying with Mustafa and his family...
From what port did you leave Spain, and into which port did you enter Morocco?
Question. Well, we left Spain, if I remember correctly, from Algeciras and went over to Ceuta, which is one of the 2 Spanish enclaves in the north of Morocco.
Good answer.
I think you just clutched victory from the jaws of defeat.
How was it then resolved? How did you end up getting off of the list.
Well, hang on a minute, we're jumping ahead here.
Yeah.
What the
Yeah,
hell
he's
did
allowed
you
to
in
do that, him,
Morocco?
isn't he?
I like this show.
What were you doing?
I was traveling with Mohammed.
My client is getting mixed up because at passport control they said you must have a passport. And he's getting a bit mixed up with the names.
I'm curious as to the fact that Interpol has a missing persons list.
Yeah, no, what happened is my parents got involved and they got Interpol involved.
Right.
And I sent a few postcards, one of them, to my friend Mark. And on that postcard I wrote, I've joined the Foreign Legion. Probably see you never again, have a good life or something. And then, Mark being a quite clever boy, thought, okay, with this postcard I can have a lot of fun. I go round Henning's parents and say them something along the lines of, oh, Herr Wehn, Frau Wehn, you might be interested in this.
Sorry, so your friend Mark
Yes.
used this postcard to mentally torture your parents? I'll make his parents think he's disappeared forever for a laugh.
Where's German sense of humour?
I love it.
And what do we know about this Moroccan chap who we're calling Mohammed?
He hadn't been home for many, many years. And so we couldn't take the boat straight to Morocco. We had to go to one of the Spanish enclaves because he had to collect a suitcase full of books from a cafe in Ceuta.
Why did he have a suitcase full of books?
Because someone left them there for him.
But why books in a suitcase?
Well, it was back in the mid-90s, people were still reading.
So he went to a cafe in the Spanish enclave of Morocco
Yes.
to collect a suitcase which he told you was full of books.
Well, I suppose a friend of his left them there.
Did the books smell funny? Were the dogs barking when you walked by them? Were they coated in powder? I mean, seriously, a suitcase full of books? Might have been some drugs. Maybe it was books, you know? I mean, I know, I mean, books could be code word for drugs, you know? I know I got a friend of mine who, when he gets some fresh weed, he tells everybody, hey, I made some new spaghetti sauce. It tastes really good. You should come over and try some of my spaghetti sauce. And he's inviting you over for a little time with some weed. So maybe that's what the books were. I wonder if they were a good read.
Yes, but
I
why?
mean, you know what it sometimes is like, isn't it? Like, well, I can't quite think of an example.
But if he could, it would be like that.
Yeah.
This Interpol list that you were on, can you just elaborate on how your parents got you onto it?
Well, they rang the consulate, and they rang all
Which
sorts
consulate?
of... The German one. And,
Which German consulate?
well, the one in Morocco.
They
And
didn't
the
ring
one
the
in-
police, they rang the German consulate in Morocco.
Well, that's how you would go about it, wouldn't you? It's no
don't
good
know.
ringing your local bobby.
And what happens then with the list? Do you just... They have to tell Interpol, stop
Yeah.
looking for Henning. We
Yeah, I
found him.
suppose so, yeah.
Well, did they? For all
My
we know, they're
parents are
still
quite-
looking for you now.
I'm safe.
Goofy dude.
Does any of that have the ring of truth, or has he made all that up?
What do you think, Kirsty?
I think it's so odd and inconsistent and unlikely that it must be true.
Yeah, that's what I'm leaning towards as well.
Yeah.
I think that as well. I think it's true.
Yeah.
Henning, was that the truth, or were you telling a lie?
Well, this story is true.
Crazy. Absolutely
For
crazy.
3 weeks, I carted an empty box around without realizing that what I bought wasn't actually in it.
And what was it? What did you imagine it was?
What it was a... No, don't let me lie. It was there was a plastic Christmas tree.
That's what you thought was in there?
Absolutely.
For 3 weeks.
But that's something you open quite quickly after buying it, a Christmas tree.
No, it's about the suspense, isn't it? Christmas is all about suspense, and...
I don't think it's all about suspense. Because in general, when you buy a box that you think contains an artificial Christmas tree, you just assume that it does. You don't go, oh, I wonder if it's really in there. Because if you're seriously wondering if it's really in there, you'd check before you left the shop, wouldn't you?
Yeah, maybe I'd chosen my words not very wisely. Some of it got lost in translation.
This guy's gold. He really is.
Where did you buy it, by the way?
At Argos.
As you left the shop, did it not occur to you that it was quite light, this box?
Yes, but what? Yeah, but now it gets interesting. No, because shortly before that, I'd started doing yoga to increase my... to improve my core strength. So I didn't think any of it. I thought in such good physical shape, I can lift that box without it straining me.
The queues at Argos are huge.
Yeah.
How long was you in the queue for?
For ages.
So it was a few weeks later that you opened it, ready for Christmas. Nothing was in there. What happened next?
Well, I kept the box, didn't I?
So you went on to have this Christmas without a Christmas tree in your flat?
I actually, believe it or not, I did use the box instead of the Christmas tree.
As a tree?
I believe
yeah,
that.
because there was pictures of a Christmas tree on the outside.
The saddest Christmas ever.
I have one further question.
Yes?
Why were you
the
carrying
one.
this box around with you for 3 weeks?
When I say I didn't take it to social occasion, I didn't say to the do we want to go down the park? And then the box at what, end of November? Far too cold. So,
I did not ask you whether or not you socialised with the box.
I tell you what, I took the box into town with me on one occasion. I went all the way into Leicester Square with the box.
Why, on the occasion that you were going into Leicester Square, did you take it with you?
That is a very good question, David, and I shall give you the answer. Because the box and I are going to do a comedy show.
On how many journeys did you take this Christmas tree, other than the one from Argos to your flat and the one from your flat to the comedy show in Leicester Square?
Can we just keep it a bit lighter? He's not up for a walk ride.
He did say he traveled around for 3 weeks with his box. 3 weeks with his box. What the fuck?
Not on this occasion, anyway.
David, what do you think?
What do you think, Sean?
I'm sort of having it a little bit. Because anything you buy from Argos, even if it's a big wardrobe, it doesn't weigh anything when you walk out with the box.
Are you an Argos man, Sean?
I used to be.
Really?
Big time, yeah.
What stopped you?
Fame.
Tom?
I think it's a
Sort of.
ridiculous story. But, I mean, he's a canny fella.
So, should we go for true?
Yeah.
True?
Yeah.
We're going to say true.
All right. Henning, truth or lie?
This story is true.
The yoga, the core strength.
This is Nicola, and I told my parents to sack her as my babysitter because she failed to read my bedtime stories with enough emotion.
What was wrong with the bedtime story?
I didn't enjoy the way she read the bedside story to me.
What sort of stories? Give us an example.
She was reading Hansel and Gretel to me, and then the witch ends up in the oven. And she read that in a very compassionate way.
Towards the witch?
Yeah, and the good thing at that point is all about the witch got what she had coming, and that's how I like the story read to me.
You didn't like any any complexity in the
No,
character?
I
of the
like the
witch? The witch
complexity.
is
I don't like the compassion towards the witch because she's a witch.
Okay, so Hansel and Gretel shove the witch in the oven, slam the door, turn it up to gas mark 6.
No, always preheat the oven before cooking it.
Always preheat the oven before cooking a witch. Who is that guy? I've seen him on a couple of these now. I don't know who he is though, so if somebody could tell me who that dude is.
Let's assume it's preheated.
That guy.
Okay.
Slam the door, turn it up, and then walk out into the forest. How did she misdeliver that line?
Well, it was in German, so it was like...
Is she German?
Nicola, yeah.
Ah.
You mean yeah?
Yeah.
Nicola's a classic German name, isn't it?
Nicola. Nicola Schmidt.
Nicholas Schmidt.
So she was what, weeping for the witch, or what? What's...
I don't have to say this now, but I just didn't overly like her. That's obviously not how I told it to my parents, isn't it? I said to my parents, yeah, she didn't put any butter on the bread and all that business, and didn't get me anything to drink, so I mean...
So what did you do? I stuck her in the oven.
He was
I think it's probably Henning.
little shithead.
I think Henning's could have been the sort of vicious little child who would have her babysitter summarily dismissed for no good reason at all.
Which way are you going, Alex?
Do you know what? I'm going to stick my neck on the line. I think Lee.
Am I even
You
getting
think
a
it's
look
Lee?
in?
Yeah.
Doom.
Lee,
I
his name's Lee.
initially thought it was Lee. Completely from the very beginning when I heard what the 3 things were, I went, it's definitely Lee.
I'm not going to overrule. I wouldn't be surprised if it was Henning. We'll go for Lee.
You're saying it's Lee
Yeah.
with a little suspicion that it's Henning. OK. Nicola, would you please reveal your true identity?
My name is Nicola, and I taught Ben how to talk to crows.
This is Bill. I once bought
Bill
an
looks like a happy
Irish
guy.
accent mouth spray from him because I genuinely believed it would give me an Irish accent.
An Irish accent
How
mouth
do you know
spray.
Bill?
So this is Bill, and when my chair broke, he let me sit on his back so I could interview Nicki Minaj.
All right. Finally, Lee, what's your relationship with Bill?
This is Bill. I had to leave my life drawing class when he walked in, disrobed, and I realised he was the man that sold me my sausages.
There we have it. Is Bill Clara's spare chair, Henning's spray seller, or Lee's model mate? David's team, where would you like to begin?
Henning.
Henning Wehn.
So explain the thing about this spray.
Bill has actually got a shop, and I walked past his shop, and I saw Irish accent spray. And I hadn't written a decent joke in a long time. I thought, well, let's get that spray.
So when you say you saw Irish accent spray, what do you mean?
Like well, it's like a helium balloon.
It's a balloon.
No, it's a spray, but it changes your accent.
Instead of making your voice more high-pitched, it makes it more Irish accented.
Yeah.
Although mixed with the accent you've already got. God knows what that could do.
And what shop sells this? What shop?
Like one of them that you have got around Camden.
Bill's got a shop in Camden.
Yeah.
And his best product is a spray that makes you sound Irish.
Well, I didn't buy all his products, so I can't rank them.
Can't rank them.
Well, let's get the genre of shop clear. It's a sort of joke shop, is it?
Well, you call it as derogatively as you want.
By joke shop, I don't mean a risible shop. I mean a shop that sells joke items like whoopee cushions and...
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, fake blood and... Yeah, that
Sounds
sort of
right.
shop. And when did this happen?
The best part of...
All right, I had to pause this for a second. Can we give this guy some credit for the deadpan? I mean, I guess if I'm doing it, he's down there. I don't know. Anyway, Bill, is that his name? This guy has deadpanned the audience, has deadpanned the panel since they brought him on stage. No idea who's telling the truth. Of course, the only person they're interested in is Henning. They want to know what Henning's doing and what his story is, because he's pretty good at weaving a tale, spinning the yarn, as they say. But this guy's great. Look at him. He looks pissed.
10 years ago, say.
Was there a reason you needed to sound Irish?
No, it was just I thought that's another string to my bow.
Did you? So how did you imagine it being used in your stand-up?
Maybe if I tell a joke where Irishmen go to the pub.
Do you know a joke where Irishmen go to the pub that you could tell in your current accent, but you could mime the point at which you would have sprayed your...
It would like go, there is an English fella going into the pub and says, "Oh, jolly good morning, my good fellow."
You didn't have any spray for that. So you don't need to spray.
And then
you can
not
do
for
it.
English, not for... And then, Irishman goes in the pub and then I spray.
Yeah, okay.
And then I go, "Top of the morning."
David's team. Is Bill Clara's spare chair, Henning's spray cellar, or Lee's model mate?
I think we need to ask, are you absolutely sure that one of them is true?
Yes. Yes.
I think in the radio situation, I think they probably could find a chair or standing up. There's a better solution than for 6 minutes sitting on a human being.
What about Lee?
Well, that's not true.
I've got to say that he's literally not moved. He's not shown any emotion. Now, if I'm going to
Yeah,
draw
that's
a
what I
man
was
naked,
saying.
I'm going to draw Bill.
What do you think, Sean?
I've just got to go for Bill being sat on...
You think Clara?
No, I'm changing my mind now because he's German, so he could possibly believe about a spray wound.
Right.
Have you just noticed now that Henning is German?
Just this second, yeah.
So you think Henning now?
No, I'll stick with Clara.
Stick with Clara. And you're sticking
I'm going to
with
go with
Lee.
Lee, yeah.
You see, I think it's Henning.
You think it's Henning?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. We're going to go Henning. Yeah.
OK, Bill, would you please reveal your true identity?
My name is Bill, and Henning bought an Irish press spray.
Yes! It was him.
That's what you bought, Henning, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah?
And you genuinely
We have
thought it
one
would have an
that's
effect
open.
on your accent.
Of some description.
Lee, let me give it to you. It didn't work on Henning, but might work on you.
I don't think you gave me the right one.
I was once arrested by border guards for illegally entering another country.
David's team, what do you think?
Which country?
It was in the mid-90s.
Oh, here we go again.
And it was in Eastern Europe, so they changed names very quickly. So I'm not sure. It was either Czech Republic or Czechoslovakia. I don't know which.
You know what
Oh,
stage
okay.
of its
Yeah, exactly.
dissolution it was at. Yeah. And what was the problem?
I didn't have my passport
Right.
Where had you left your passport?
at home.
Who were you with, by the way? Were you on your own, or
No, I
was
was with a friend from back home, Pete.
a friend in the pit?
No, with a person called Pete.
Is that his real name?
Pete.
Is that nickname?
Pete.
Oh, Pete.
No, P-I-T.
Oh, Pete.
Oh, is that
Pete.
his Pete?
He's called Pete.
Like Brad Pitt, but
Yeah.
Pitt is his first name.
Otherwise, I would say Pete.
Yeah.
I thought he was saying
We
Pete.
were travelling on something that was called Schönes Wochenend ticket. And
That's German for National Express.
now, what it is German for, you can use any train you like as long as it's a slow train.
We have that system with all of our trains. OK, so you get off the train at the border.
You do.
Is it at that moment you realise you don't have your passport?
Yes. So we wanted to go into Czechoslovakia. So I didn't have my passport. So the obvious thing to do is don't go across where the border guards are, but go a mile off into the fields.
I can already see where this is turning into a bad idea. Hey, real quick, I know we're getting really deep into this video, but if it's your first time here, don't forget to hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell so you know when I come back with more comedy reactions and many different kinds of reactions that I do here on the channel. Just want to throw that out there. Let's get back to Henning finishing his story about how he's hiding out a mile in the field so he can avoid the border guards.
And cross there. If then someone wants to see your passport, you say, oh, I must have lost it.
Roughly how far into Czechoslovakia, in whatever form it was, were you?
I was about, give or take, a mile. I see in the distance, I see like two lights, two white lights. They're getting bigger and bigger and bigger.
Headlights.
And then I realise it's a Jeep.
Yeah.
They're driving towards us.
I'm quite gripped by the story.
The Jeep then just stopped, and then there is 4 people jumping out with automatic rifles and dogs.
Automatic dogs?
Automatic dogs.
What sort of dogs were they?
I didn't ask for their names, but...
Neither did Alex.
They were terrifying dogs, probably Alsatians or something.
What happened? They're all around you. So
Well,
what
they
do
all
they say?
jump out with their rifles, don't they? And then saying, or whatever their language is. So, and then we had to gain the Jeep, and then we were driving off into Czechoslovakia, and then we ended up in some woods. One of them jumps out, opens the gate, and I didn't even see was there. Then there is some little wooden hut. And was someone in there that spoke German. We got on well with that fella, and our excuse was, they would say, we had no idea that we crossed the border.
Yeah.
So, and then, well, they didn't fully buy it, but they knew there was little point executing us.
What happens then?
Executing us.
And now,
Nice.
the funny story begins. They said, you'll have to pay a penalty.
Oh, the Germans and penalties.
That
Not
penalty...
Never again, please.
Then the Czechs drove us back to the German border, handed us over to the German border guards, and then they congratulated us on being the first illegal immigrants from Germany into Czechoslovakia.
Wow.
David, what are you and your team thinking?
Oh my gosh.
The travel card thing. It just seems right.
No, I think on an emotional level, having spent so long hearing that story, we need it to be true. Yeah. We need something.
We need it to be true,
Yeah.
because a lot of our life went into that.
So you're going to say
on that
true?
emotional level, I think we have to say true.
You're saying it's true. Henning, truth or lie?
Well, that story is actually true.
Wow.
Im Frühtau zu Berge, wir ziehen Faller. Es grünen die Wälder, die Höhenfaller. Wir wandern ohne Sorgen, singen in den Morgen, noch ehe im Tale die Hähne krähen. Yippie!
Wow. That guy is hilarious. I need more Henning in my life. Holy shit. David, thank you for recommending Henning to me. I really enjoyed his bits on Would I Lie to You. That's just a great show all the way around. Yeah, I got to tell you, I really enjoyed that. That was a good laugh. That was a lot of fun. I hope you guys enjoyed it as much as I did. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed the reaction to the video. I'm going to probably dig around to a little more Henning right now as soon as I'm done recording this. So until next time, Squirrel out.
Fuck yeah, fuck yeah.